Sorry, guys. Y'all probably hear a lot of that because our dogs bark a lot. But tonight is basically our random chat. I mean, I know in most of them I do the random chat anyway, except this time I'm not sticking with like a specific topic or anything, or just chat night, whatever comes to mind. Um, oh, I do want to thank a friend of mine who has been a friend of the family since as long as I remember. Her name is Tanya, and she knows who I'm talking about on here. So I want to say thank you for all of your support and for being here for me. Supposed to make an appointment at Emory for the neurologist, so we shall see how that goes to get seen again. That way we can get all this stuff taken care of. So how has everybody's Sunday been, or even December for that matter? Ours has been all right. I mean, it hasn't been the greatest, but it hasn't been the worst either. And before anybody even opens their mouth and says anything, no, I do not have my teeth in. Oh, I have been having more seizures. There has been some videos that my man has taken during, and I will make sure to post them up here later on. Most likely when I get off here, because I'll have to go back through everything, and I'm going to have to rename my topics and put in more of my descriptions and stuff like that. Oh, another thing, which is we kind of talked about some yesterday, but I more had a topic yesterday. But talking about wearing masks, kind of want to get back to that. Yes, before I even say it, I know it's not going to prevent the virus. I know that. I understand that. 100%, you guys. However, it does keep from, it's the same thing as covering your face when you cough and you sneeze, except you're just not using your hand. However, it's not the best idea if you're not one of those people that don't even wash your hands. Because, as I've mentioned yesterday, you can go to the store without wearing gloves, because I'm one of those people that don't wear gloves when I go out, you guys. But go out and you can touch a countertop, which somebody may have had COVID and didn't even show symptoms, but choose not to wear a mask because they're one of the ones that don't think the virus is real, yet they have it, just not showing symptoms. And to touch that counter over there, yet after you touch that counter over there, you forget about it. And then you take your mask off when you go out. You forget about it. You didn't wash your hands, and now you touch your face, or you rub your mouth or stuff like that. Because a lot of us have a habit of touching our face. It's just something that we do. And then next thing you know, you have the germs on your face because you did not wash your hands after touching an exposed area. But, I'm not one of those people either that are going to sit here and tell you what to do. I mean, you do you. You can wear a mask or you can choose not to. It's your body, you know what I'm saying? And it's your choice. 100%. It's your choice to whether you want to wear a mask or not. And that's totally fine too. However, please be responsible. Please think about other people who can't go out without, you know what I'm saying? Because some of us have compromised immune systems. There are some older people out there. There are younger people out there. There are a variety of people out there getting this stuff, and even people with disabilities that can't help but to go out. We still have to go outside of our home to get groceries. We still have to go to work. We have to leave home and do stuff. There are I understand that we may sit at home, but that doesn't mean that's everybody's case. There are a lot of people out there who work outside of home for a living and have to go. I'm just asking that when you do, you just please be responsible and think about other people besides yourself. Because, I mean, what if it was your mother or somebody who has gotten this virus? I mean, sure, it may not act the same as one person towards another. Like, one person may not show symptoms, and I may. I may show a lot of symptoms, or it could be vice versa. I could show no symptoms, but this person over here, same age and everything, we're both healthy. Well, I'm healthy-ish, healthy enough, but we're both healthy and everything. But I show symptoms and that person doesn't. Our bodies are different, so they act different. That's why, like, when you see people who have pneumonia and stuff, some people I saw is put people in the hospital, such as myself, has put me in the hospital like several years ago. But for others, pneumonia really isn't that bad. It's like a chest cold, kind of. Once again, like I mentioned about medications and stuff like that too, all of our bodies react differently to all these different things. Oh, and back to kind of what I was talking about before. I wanted to say thank you to Tanya, she's basically like a second mother to me. She's helped raise me. She's been there through it all, pretty much. Um, yeah, I want to say thank you for even still being here for me, even though we're not close by with each other or stuff like that, or we don't speak a lot like we used to. I still thank you for being here. Um, and those that don't know, she had told me to go ahead and schedule my appointment for Emory, which I have heard are some of the best doctors here in Georgia. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the case or whatever. But she told me to go ahead and make an appointment with them. And since her brother lives here in Chattanooga, close by us, then we will we will try to make it happen. Which is great news because I'm about to lose my neurologist in January. It's not that he hasn't been doing a good job or anything like that. It's not that he failed or anything. It's just The only thing he did, you guys, was he did one EEG where I had to stay in the hospital for like 3 days. And based on that test, nothing came back, which is that's good. That's that's awesome. We don't want nothing to show up. However, we have already done multiple tests before where at least two of the tests have shown something, but they dismissed it because I take medications. So they get stuck because some of my seizure medications can actually cause seizures also. So we're stuck right now in I don't know. So I'm still stuck going back and forth to see people. And from what I've heard, Emory has been the best hospital for a lot of people to get that kind of stuff figured out. Um, and I think it's time, you guys. I think it's time. I suffer for it. I suffer because nobody wants to listen. I understand that they cannot do anything about my PNES. I totally understand that 100%, which I have never, ever asked them to even do anything about. If I go to the hospital and it's a PNES episode, just calm me down, help me stay calm, let me sleep it off, then send me home. It's no big deal. You don't have to give me medications and stuff like that. That's fine. That's not what I'm asking for. All I ask for when I go is for help to calm my body down to where I can stop and be okay. And also a big thank you to Mary Jen Snack Shack as well for the Dragon Drop. They have helped me quite a bit today and last night, actually. Last night I had a bit of a bad episode. I mean, it's not the worst one I've had. Um, Truth be told, the worst one I've had in a while was last year, last December. But this is the worst one I've had in quite a while. So, and it's something that keeps repeating itself over and over again, and it's kind of like some of them dismiss my words, or some of them only hear what they want to hear. Because what I do ask them for is for help with the things I can't control, of course. Um, because as I've mentioned in previous videos, I do have epileptic and non epileptic episodes, and usually, not always, but a lot of the times, my PNES will play off of my epileptic episode, meaning that I can have an epileptic episode and then instead of having another one like some people do when they're in status and it's kind of like that, it's still kind of status except it's moved on from one to the other. It's no longer it's no longer the epileptic, but it's then me stuck in that space, that area of thinking. Like I've already had the epileptic episode, but my brain doesn't feel like it's finished. It's still doing its thing. My body it's still not relaxed. It's not calm. I may feel like I am sometimes, and this is what the doctors explained to me too, as well as my old man over here. There is bad stress as well as good stress. When they say that you're probably stressing or something like that, you probably are. Um, a lot of the times I've been like, but I'm not stressing though. The only thing that stresses me out is y'all keep telling me I'm stressed out. That's the only thing that's bothering me. But it most likely is that you're stressed out. It doesn't necessarily mean like a bad stress, like you just had a bad week and you're really stressed out about it, or like because we can't see family for Christmas because of COVID, like that kind of stress. But it could be simple as we're going to a theme park today and we're going to go ride a roller coaster. I'm super excited about this roller coaster and we're starting to go up this hill, this great big hill. My adrenaline's starting to get up there. Oh, I can kind of feel my heart almost drop. I'm so excited though. But then when you start going downhill, then I could go into mid seizure. Um, and not it doesn't have to be epileptic. It can be the PNES episode, and not because I'm stressed out like a bad stress, but like a good stress. My brain is stressed out because I'm riding this roller coaster and my adrenaline's shooting up. It's just something. But that's what I'm seeing my counselor for right now. That's what I go to see her for, to get help to change my way of thinking in some of these situations. Which is, she kind of looked at me crazy the last few times I went, because I even explained it to her like I do y'all, and she's like, "Oh well, what are you doing here then if you know all this?" I mean, it's not the fact that I don't know. I mean, I know just fine. It's just I have a hard time putting it together, I guess. It's just some things that I see people doing, and then I think it's okay for me to do because everybody else is doing. But then, yet again, my brain's telling me, no, if you go to do like everybody else is doing, you're going to get in trouble. Or somebody's going to say something about you doing what they're doing, or they're going to say something bad about whatever. So I'm going to change that way of thinking. Neurologist already told me he can't do anything about that. That's good. That's fine and dandy. I already knew that. The only issue I've really had with him is once I got out of the hospital for the video monitoring, and he asked me what he was supposed to do next. And I kind of gave him the same face I'm giving y'all right now. Like, what are you talking about, dude? You're supposed to be my neurologist now. That's what my previous neurologist had stated, is he can no longer help me because none of the treatments and stuff were working. We were in the process of getting the VNS, which I was already approved for twice already, except he did the paperwork wrong and he didn't want to go back over it and do it again. So he shipped me off to a new neurologist, and he's been doing a good job, except he only based my diagnosis on one test that we did. There are several other tests that we haven't even tried yet since my whole epileptic journey, such as the spinal puncture, the stereo EEG, the what is it? I think it's the MEG or the M something. It's kind of like a CT, except it's like a chair kind of. Some people may know what I'm talking about. Moving on though. My point is and I want to go back to the spinal puncture and shit, so we're clear. It, I don't want any of that, but if it's gonna be the one that finds out what's going on, then they need to get to it. Y'all get what I'm saying? The EEG, my first neurologist, she explained to me already. It's probably, we have already captured it once. However, we don't know if it was the medication we put you on. All right, cool. So then when we did another EEG, it wasn't there, it wasn't seen. So, all right, maybe it's PNS, or possibly it could just be deeper in the brain because regular EEGs, they can't get deeper inside the brain. EEGs only take pictures of basically like the top of your brain and stuff. It doesn't go deep down. With a stereo EEG, they drill holes in your skull and they put a few electrodes actually in your brain, and they're able to read a lot more accurate because they can get deeper in the brain. I've even asked both of my neurologists this here recently, and they both looked at me like I'm retarded or something. I'm sorry for using that word for people that do not like it. Um, but they looked at me like I was silly. Like, what is that? Or what are you talking about? We already did an EEG. No. Oh my God. I mean, yeah, it's the same thing. You guys, y'all are supposed to be doctors. What are you doing? I mean, I understand that you're right. I'm the patient, but you're not listening to my words either. This is my body. I know how it feels. And sure, the PNES episodes, you're right. I can usually tell a difference between the two. There are sometimes like when I had an epileptic episode, it moved on to a PNES episode. That's more like the times when I don't know and I'm still trapped in that. But usually, for the most part, I can kind of tell the difference. But they listen to nothing I have to say. I went to the hospital. I think it was just last year, or it may have been like the year. No, I think it was last year, like about May something of last year, something early last year. And I had to go to the hospital. I had lost feeling in my leg, which is still how it is sometimes, even when they do the neurological exam. You know how they'll hit your knee with a little hammer. My left one, it kicked straight out every time. My right one, it sometimes it kicks a little bit, but barely. And here recently, the last time, it barely moved at all. So he's getting now to the point of where things need to be taken care of, which is what I've said for a long time now. And that's eventually what the doctors find out after it's when it's too late, you guys. So far, that has been my experience. I will tell them about something, and then they'll brush it off, and they're like, nope, nothing, just go home. All right. If it's nothing, I'll go home. But then, like the next day or a couple days later, I'll have to go back because they said it was nothing, yet it's still something. And then I'll go back. And then the other hospital, because I'll usually go to the other one at that point because the first one apparently didn't do their job. But then I'll go to the other one down the road and then they'll do tests and stuff like that. And then they'll finally tell me, they'll be like, oh, I found this, and this right here. Oh, well, that's messed up because just yesterday they told me there was nothing wrong with me. So now they're trying to make me out to be a liar, I guess. Like, it kind of made me skeptical a few months ago. I think it was like towards the middle of this year where they had done a drug test on me, which is For those of us with epilepsy and even PNES, know they do a lot of because it's their job. They got to make sure we're not on anything and that's causing the seizures. All right, no big deal. Um, hold on, I forgot where I was getting at. I mentioned drug test stuff. Um, hold on now, I had a blank moment. You know what? We're gonna move on because I can't just sit here on the nothing topic because I already lost it. So moving on. Mm, oh yeah, that it was kind of sketchy because a few months ago when they done a drug test like they were supposed to, that it had said that there was no marijuana in my system, which is very funny because I smoke marijuana every day, every single day, which they should know this because I have to see them quite a lot. And usually they are quite surprised about how dark my urine screen is for the marijuana. So it kind of got to me a little bit in my brain like, are y'all really doing your job now, or now are y'all just saying you are, but y'all aren't really doing anything? Because I mean, I guess some of y'all can kind of see where I get that idea from in my brain. I mean, that may not be the case. Maybe it could have been like a medication or something I took that made it to where it wasn't in my system or didn't show in my system or something. I don't know. I mean, I doubt it, but you never know nowadays with foods and drinks and stuff. So it makes me question them. It wasn't in my system. When I go to Emory, I feel I may be in a little bit better of hands. I've heard even one of my friends talk about how her husband or her fiance, excuse me, he has seizures also, and they could not figure out what was going on with him either. And then as soon as he went to Emory, they found out like the first test that they done, they figured it out just like that. And for also for everyone else that doesn't know, which is probably a lot of you except for my mom, Emory has been wanting to work with me for quite a long time, basically since my seizures have started. And that is because my seizures, they aren't on the normal basis. If if y'all understand what I'm saying there, my seizures are more complicated and they still don't even know what's going on. They still don't even know what's causing them. We don't know. We don't know if it was like because of a fever from when I was younger, a higher fever. I at least had two of those. One when I was 3, of course, didn't remember that I was 3, but it's on my record, so it's there. It happened. The one I do remember, I believe I was 9. I think I was like 9 or 10, somewhere right in that area. I had a severe asthma attack. We believe, we believe we didn't go to the emergency room or anything, but I had a severely high fever. It was over 103. My body was burning up. It was red like a lobster. My voice was so bad I couldn't talk. My brother had even gotten me one of those boards that you write on and then you use a little thing at the bottom to swipe it back and forth to erase the word. He gave me one of those so that I could speak to everybody. And it was like that for at least 2 or 3 days. Um, but my dad and my stepmother had actually had to wrap me up in some towels, and they put me in a black garbage bag and filled the tub up with some cool water and put a bag of ice in it. And also, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. No, you're not supposed to do that because you can send a person's body into shock doing so. Um, so you're not supposed to do that. Removing blankets from them and stuff like that, yes. A cool rag, even a cool towel, that's fine. But please do not put them in a tub full of cold water because you can put their body into shock that way. Um, but moving on, I don't even know if it could have been like from that because it was it was severe at that time. Don't know. It could have been because I was born 3 months premature. It could have been because the doctors used medications to help stop my delivery. Or it could also be a genetic thing. But that's also another thing that I don't understand have not why they have not done this yet. But genetic testing is available too, which they haven't done either. So they always try to make me feel like I'm crazy and I'm talking out of my butt, but I'm not. There are some times where I freak myself out. Yeah, that is true. That is not always the case though. When I'm really feeling terrible and I'm really feeling off, you can tell. You can tell for sure. Like last night, I could tell, I could even feel it. I could smell it kind of on myself. Um, my eyeballs had started to get poofy and they started to actually hurt. But yet, if I would have went to this other hospital, this closest hospital to me, their thing that they would have said last night is they probably would have laughed at me and they would have left me in that room for probably about an hour and sent me home. Which basically means I would have suffered the whole time, which I could have just done at home. And that's what I come to realize. And now I've stopped going at least as much as I possibly can. If I can avoid it, I will. Because I honestly don't feel like I'm asking too much when I ask for help. That's their job. Whether it's a mental condition or it's actually something that's physically happening, which is both, then it's still their job to help take care of it. I'm sure they can't deal with the mental part of it, which is exactly what they told me. That's that's okay. We can move past that. When I come in here and I'm in one of my episodes, whether it's epileptic or non, and I'm being grouchy, just let me lay there, leave me alone for a few minutes, and let me be grouchy. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be grouchy on purpose, but when I wake up in a place I was not at before, my brain freaks out on me. It's like, how did we get here? I mean, what happened? What? I was just laying on my couch like just a minute ago. All I did was close my eyeballs And now I'm waking up here and y'all are sticking needles in my neck, or y'all are sticking needles in my arms and feet, or y'all are squirting freaking ammonia tablets up my nostril. And to one who is already dealing with an episode and they're already agitated, shoving a whole capsule of ammonia and then breaking it open and squeezing it in their nostril, I'm pretty sure that's going to make anybody angry. Because I can tell you right now, I can guarantee you, if you were to have a seizure in this floor right now, and I were to get an ammonia tablet, and I were to squeeze that motherfucker and shove it up your nostril, you would be trying to bite me. I mean, man, it's not that hard to treat people with kindness. I understand that there are people in this world who are sick, not like physically sick, but like sick in the head and go to the doctor for attention like that. But I'm not one of those people. I don't feel the need to get that kind of attention from doctors where they're laughing at me and mocking me. I don't want that kind of attention. I mean, who does? I don't like going to be poked and poked around and things squirted in my eyeballs and all kinds of stuff and being bruised up all the time. I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy pain at all. When I had a seizure during the middle of summertime in 90-degree weather on the sidewalk, I had actually burned my face and burned my arm. I guarantee you, if I was faking that, the normal person's response would be, ouch, that burns my face. I want to get up. That's really hot. I don't want my skin to touch that. It's burning. But no, my face was literally burnt because it was laying on the concrete, as well as my arm. My brother had tried to do everything he could to get my face off the concrete, but even though it was on there for like just a few minutes, it burnt my face. However, they still thought that it was funny. And I don't see how you can why would I fake something like that? Why would I purposely burn myself? That hurt. I mean, I even have a tattoo right here that's not even finished because it hurt. I am not one to deal with pain like that. So that even goes to show why would I do that? And like I said, I even understand that there are some people that they have that do go in there and they do that. And I'm so sorry for y'all doctors and nurses that do have to deal with that. I am sorry. But that's not always the case with everyone, and I wish that you would stop treating it as all of us are the same. Because there are really some of us that cannot help this. And then we go to you to ask and reach out for help, and all you do is laugh at us and just pretend like nothing's happening. And then it leads to a big circle till we have to keep seeing you over and over again until finally the right doctor actually diagnoses it and it was what we said it was the whole time. Hello, how are you? Which is, I've even had that happen. Nope, I've had it happen 3 times already, twice leading me to the ICU. because I told them, no, I'm feeling really bad. They're not stopping like that. I have no control over them. I'm trying to. It's not working. Therapy, I tried it. It wasn't working. They didn't listen to that. A few days later, not even the next day, was the first day I wound up in the ICU. That time they put me to sleep. I wasn't on the ventilator then. But then the second time, I told my second neurologist, I'm like, hey, this medication isn't working for me. It's making me feel really bad. Oh, well, maybe we need to up the dose a little bit. Um, I kind of thought I just said that was making me feel terrible, but you're the doctor, so all right, I'll listen to you. And so we moved it to 600 milligrams. And by then, once again, not even a week later, I was in the hospital. I was non responsive. I was fighting everybody. I was put on the ventilator that actually had to put me to sleep for 3 days. And now they get close to doing it almost every time I go in now. And that is because my body, it gets stuck, and sometimes they don't understand what I mean by stuck, I guess, but physically my body gets stuck. Like last night it had like, I don't know, my hand was all weird, like it was like that kind of, it was just stuck like that, but I couldn't do nothing about it. Yeah, if I have somebody to help me like straighten it out and stuff like that, sometimes it'll help. But even other times, it has been really hard for even the doctors to move my hands and stuff, which should say so. That's something that is going on that is affecting my body. If you leave it like that for so long, that can cause damage to my body. And if it's for me hyperventilating and because I got the lack of oxygen, that can still cause damage to my body. And yet their job is to try to keep me calm during them, and when I come out, ask me simple questions, phrases, the normal, who's the president, what state you live in, or what's your name, what's your birthday, all the normal stuff that your brain would know. Um, I know. I think I remembered like once something about a freaking purple elephant or something. That was stupid. I mean, I guess I still remember it now, so it's not quite so stupid. But I don't see. I mean, I guess that's how your brain clicks onto it is because elephants are not purple, so it kind of stands out. But I had one of those episodes in the hospital where my body had physically got stuck, like they were stuck up in the air and everything, and I couldn't move it. I couldn't even move my head or anything. Like I could move my eyeballs, I could move my feet a little bit, but my arms were just like stuck up in the air. And I could talk, I could say words and everything, but I just couldn't move. And they were still watching me on camera. I have two nurses in there with me, a male nurse and a female nurse, and they sat in there with me during it. Their job was supposed to try to keep me calm during it, but they did not quite do their job on that part. That kind of scared me a little bit more because they weren't helping me. But that was also a part of the process, was to let me work through it because it wasn't an actual epileptic episode, because I was wearing the EEG at the time, and when they were doing the EEG, it didn't show anything. However, I will mention once again, that these leads kept popping off of my head. So I don't know how accurate our test was with leads keeping on popping off my head. Because I would go to sleep and then I'd wake up and then there'd be two missing on the front and then there'd be one missing over here. They had to switch out my bandages at least 4 or 5 times, like the whole time I was there. So I don't even know how accurate that is. And he just looked at me like, what am I supposed to do next? Man, I don't know. You're my doctor. I'm not your doctor. I don't tell you what happens next. You tell me what happens next. And I kind of told him exactly that. And he was just like, oh, well, I guess I'll see you one more time and see how you're doing. I went to my visit then and I was having some problems with my legs still. And that's when I had started having my ticks for like over a month then. Mm, no, they had just started up then, I think. It was like maybe a week or two. But then he had mentioned something about wanting to send me to a movement specialist, and we would see something about that in January. And he would see me back in January, and if everything was fine, he would dismiss me. And I didn't quite like how that sounds because if I lose my neurologist, I lose my medications. If I lose my medications, then that's no longer helping me. Because right now, that's what's helping my epileptic episodes is my medication when I'm taking them. When I don't take them is usually when things go out of whack, unless if I have like an infection somewhere or I'm dehydrated or have a temperature or something like that. Unless if there's something else on in my body. So I told him I didn't quite think that was a good idea either, but he suggests that it is, so I don't know. I'm going to try to schedule an appointment tomorrow with my boyfriend's mother. We'll try to call them to make an appointment at Emory. And then my second mother said she'll get it worked out to where they can take me. So that would be great if it happens. We'll see how it goes. I'll set up the appointment and we can just go from there. It is a almost a 2 hour drive, so it is quite a long drive. Um, Not really comfortable leaving my old man for that long, especially that far away. But since she is a close, pretty much like a family member to me, I trust her enough. I know she's not gonna do no harm to me. If something happens, she's gonna be there. I'm not concerned about that in the least. So as far as that goes, that makes me more comfortable and stuff like that rather than going with anybody else. But it still makes me slightly nervous because my old man, I don't, I'm nervous being that far away from him. And actually, I believe that would be the first time I've ever been that far away from him. Ever.
Well, not ever.
2
Since we've
hours
been
away
together.
for my, well, since we've been together.
Right. Not forever.
Yeah, not forever, but since we've been together, that will be the longest away I've been away from him. The farthest I've been away from him. So that's a little scary. But if I keep thinking about it like that, I'll wind up psyching myself out like I usually do. And that's one habit I'm trying to break now is the psyching myself out because I do that a lot. There are a lot of what ifs and in my brain there are a lot of what ifs. So, you know, what if I go down there and we get hit by a bus? What if we go down there and, you know, we get hit by a tornado or something? You know what I'm saying? Just simple like stuff like that. I mean, sure, it can happen, but I I don't really think I don't really think it will happen. It's a possibility. It can happen, but I don't think it will. And those are examples of me psyching myself out like I do all the time. Like even bridges, yeah, some of y'all are gonna laugh at me, but even bridges, they make me freaking nervous, man. They make me nervous. They are sketchy. I mean, they're man made for one. I mean, if that's not sketchy enough. And then some of them, you can see the boards up underneath the bridges, which looks even more sketchy. So I'm like, oh, I mean, I know y'all are up there, y'all are holding the weight, but what if one of the times it doesn't? I don't want to be. I don't want to be one of those vehicles in the wrong place at the wrong time, and we're at a red light and stuck under one of those bridges, and let's say like a semi truck goes over it and they have a red light up there and they're sitting up there and all of a sudden the bridge collapses and then we're just squished, you know, there's nothing we can do about that. I mean, I guess there's nothing I can do about it at that point, but it's silly, right? But these are all things I have got to learn how to face. I've got to learn how to face my fears, you guys, which is easy for some people, like your spider phobias and stuff, and stick them all over your face. And I can't do that. Um, that is a fear I will never get over. I'll never put no spiders on my face. And no, I mean I'm even letting a spider live in our bathroom right now. I mean she's little though. She's like, I mean I don't even know if it's a sheep. I mean I think it is, but there's a little bitty spider like that. So I just left it alone. I figured, hey, as long as you don't come down here bothering me, I ain't gonna bother you. You do your job. You just stay up there and make your web and whatever. Do you? It's cold outside, so I don't blame you. Can't hate all of you for wanting to be warm. Y'all are just trying to do like humans. Y'all are trying to keep your families warm or yourself warm and whatever. Yeah, I think about insects and stuff like that sometimes too. Silly. But that's the human part in me too, I guess. So we're supposed to be getting some snow New Year's Eve. That should be cool. Though it keeps changing and how much we get, so I don't quite think we're going to get a lot. At first, they said it was going to be up to half an inch, and then like a couple of days ago, it went up to an inch. And then yesterday, when I checked, it said we're supposed to be getting up to 1 to 3 inches, which is for Georgia. We know that's quite a bit for us. I know y'all in New York or Kentucky and Ohio and stuff like that are probably laughing at me like, whatever, you deal with all that. 'Cause that ain't nothing. You're right, but it is for me. I live in Georgia, so but I honestly don't think we're gonna get that much. I think it'll probably be half an inch, maybe, maybe if we're lucky. But they're also talking about like some of Middle Georgia getting it too, so that should be cool. It'd be awesome if South Georgia got some too, because I think it'd be cool for my niece to be able to experience her first snow day. She loves the park and she loves the grass and stuff. She loves using her feet and running around, and she's a little spider monkey. So she might like it, but it's also cold, so she might not. Because she's like me, she likes to stay cuddled up in her blanket and stuff. I was also supposed to be getting some snow on my birthday too, which nah, I guess would kind of be cool because I've never had a snow day on my birthday. But at the same time, that means even if we were able to go somewhere, we would be stuck at the house. We wouldn't be able to go anywhere because it's snowing or even raining because it's crazy up here. Our roads are old pretty much and have the oils in it that rise when it rains and stuff. So it brings all those oils to the surface and makes it really slick. Thank you. I am doing all right. I'm feeling a bit better than earlier. And about that also, guys, because I know some of y'all were worried about me earlier. Obviously, I'm doing okay now because I'm talking to you guys. Still kind of feeling a little bit like crap, but that's that's normal too. Um, Still feeling it a little, but thanks to Mary Jane's Dragon Drops, it had helped me a lot. Honestly, I would have probably went to the doctor if it was not for her drops. It was even last night. It was pretty bad. Like I said earlier, not the worst I've had, but it's the worst I've had in a while. So, and usually I don't like move my face. I mean, I guess sometimes I do move my face during my seizures. I'm not really used to seeing myself on video, and now I'm kind of seeing myself a little bit more in them. So it kind of surprises me a little bit. Um, but I noticed like my lower part of my mouth and stuff like that, like I had like some kind of twitch or something, or it could have been my lips were dry or something. I don't know, but y'all will probably see it later on later on tonight. It's 9:37 now. I think it's kind of a short video, so it'll probably be. I think it's like under 30 minutes for sure, so it should be posted on here sometime tonight. Um, as I said earlier, I'll have to go back through everything on my YouTube. I'll have to rename a lot of my titles on here and go through descriptions, go through each and every video. So y'all please be patient with me. It's gonna take me some time to get everything together. I'm gonna that's my end of the year goal right now is to try to get my YouTube actually finished set up And I don't mean like my followers and stuff like that, but I mean like actually have my YouTube channel how we're wanting it over here. Because not that it's not how I want it, but it's not exactly how I want it to be. We don't exactly have no set topics over here on this channel or anything like that. And I understand that a lot of you still watch me and y'all still come and peep in and stuff like that to listen in and check in on me, but I want to I want to become a YouTuber, not just someone who gets on live every now and then. And lately I have been slacking up because it's just been that time of year and I have not been feeling it honestly. And yes, it even comes down to not enough really to freely be able to smoke because that is what also a main part of my channel on here. Um, it's not required. It's not really necessary to be able to do my video. Like y'all can tell right now, I'm doing just fine. Except I prefer to be able to, just because it keeps me calm, especially when you get Karens and stuff that come in or people that leave negative stuff. Thankfully, we haven't had any of that since yesterday, but that's why I went ahead and mentioned right now they're not in, and I'll go ahead and say it again. Like I said yesterday, if it makes you uncomfortable, please let me know or don't watch. One of the two, either or are fine, because all in all, CannaBear will continue to do what she does. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the comments have actually bothered me. Like one comment, it hasn't been on YouTube or Facebook, but another website where one dude had talked about what's blue and white or something, which was another question that I was, it's kind of sketchy. When dudes ask sketchy questions, it's normally going to be something. So I should have known not to answer, not to even mess with that, but I did anyway because I was curious. I'm like, oh well, what is it then? And I was talking about some girl in his trunk or something like that. I'm like, whoa, that kind of turned really quick. And I don't know if anybody else takes it the way I do, but I kind of took it as a threat. I mean, are you trying to threaten my wife? Are you saying that you would kidnap me and put me in your trunk? I mean, that's kind of scary. What is that supposed to mean? So some stuff like that. That's why I have not gotten as interested as I was in the beginning, you guys, because not everybody on here, but a lot of people on here have been sketchy. I know I should have known that before starting my live that's going to happen when you start a live channel. Even on YouTube, I've seen a lot of bad things that's happened to YouTubers for just coming on here and going live. And please, I hope none of y'all murder me. I mean, it's not like y'all would tell me if y'all would, but I hope not. That's why I try to leave my personal information off of here, unless if it has to deal with my seizures or something that really bothers me. I try to leave the rest of my personal life off of here. to my best ability. And that's another thing. This one is mainly for my females. Mainly, maybe, maybe even for some of my males, but mostly my males. Y'all know how to defend yourselves. Not saying that us ladies don't know how to defend ourselves, but let's be real, men are pretty. A lot of men can be pretty stocky, and they are bigger than us. They are stronger than us. That's what they were made to be. They are made to be our protectors. A lot of them are not for some reason and want to hurt us for some reason, but their job is to protect us. So, anyway, back to my point, to my ladies, when you're doing your lives and you're posting your pictures to the internet or to YouTube or to Facebook or the internet, period, just be careful on what you're posting, on what you're saying, all the above, because what you're saying, somebody can take it totally wrong. They could get mad and they could, I don't know, they could see you out in public and you said something wrong on the channel and they wind up following you home. Just be careful. Um, that's why I try not to give out my specific location. I've thought about like a PO box eventually at some point, but we have not made it nowhere near that point. So we'll have to see in the future. But that's why I've also been skeptical about giving out my address for people wanting to send gifts and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful for people who have offered me stuff, but
What they really need. If
but
they were, they could go to.
they're really not, at least that I know of. And if you are, you would make it more of an effort to make a way to send it to me. So like arielsagenda.com on the website, and there are ways there.
It's actually
Well, it's actually J. Cruz Web. Sorry, guys, but it's slash Ariel's Agenda. But there are ways to send me stuff like that, and like I said, don't get me wrong. I'm very thankful for everyone who offers to send me stuff and all the above. But let's be real, unless I know you like that or I plan to know you like that, I'm not about to give you my address. Um, that's just simply because I do not want you coming to my house. I don't want you stalking me.
It's not even there no more. So, yeah.
No. But it's not that I don't trust everyone. It's just that there are a lot of people you can't trust nowadays, and that's where I come back to us ladies. Please be careful. And that goes for even when you're posting your nudes and stuff like that. I'm not saying anything that there's anything wrong with that. You're allowed to be happy with yourself. You're allowed to show yourself off and stuff like that. All I'm saying is just please be aware of what you're doing. Please be aware that there are going to be males lurking. There are going to be stalkers. There are going to be people watching your stuff. There are going to be people that are going to save it in their computer. There are probably going to be people that can even use it against you in the future. So please be aware of that. Once again, there's nothing wrong with it if that's what you do. Just be careful and look into it more before you decide to post things. Because that is how most women that I've heard of have wound up killing themselves, even. is because they will post a new picture to something that was supposed to be like a private something, and somebody has saved it to their phone and shared it to a social platform that is less public. That can happen, especially since there are a lot of hackers and stuff like that out in this world. You've got to be very careful with what you are posting. If you are fine with that kind of stuff being exposed and being used out there for whatever, do you. Do you. That is no issue at all. Just still be careful because there are creeps out here that take advantage of women and even men. Sure, they say that they can't rape men, but yes, you can. If a man is not willing, that is rape to me. I don't care what the government says. Sexual assault, sexual assault, my ass. Rape is rape is rape. If a man does not want it and you still lay it on him anyway, that is raping a man. And same goes for a dude. The dude can do the same thing. So be careful on what you do, on what you post, even on what you say, because even about politics and stuff like that, and even my comments last night about the whole God stuff, which is I'm sorry to whoever it offends. But even when it comes to God and stuff like that, there will be a lot of people that are probably going to disagree with me. And I'm already prepared for that. But there are also some people in this world that would make it a huge deal. Like, oh, you don't believe in stuff like this? You said this, and this about them? Well, now I'm going to follow you home and I'm going to shoot you in the face. Or now I'm going to go to your house and nail you to a wall. I mean, so please forgive me to anybody if I offend anybody on anything. Just let me know and I will publicly apologize. Because that is not why I'm here. I'm just here to peacefully speak my mind. That goes for anything, and that goes for any of you. Any of you are welcome to express your thoughts and opinions as well. My only issue is when doing so, please be thoughtful of others' feelings. That goes for my CannaBear, my Canna Cubs on here as well. When they are posting on my chat and stuff like that, and you disagree with something they say, yeah, feel free to let them know that you disagree. But please keep it civil and calm. That's why we're here, is to express ourselves. But be calm and civil about it. Don't be a douche, please. Because there are ways to talk to people about things, and there are ways not to.
Friends, guests, family around. We had so much fun. Everybody was laughing, smiling, enjoying themselves.
Mona met Dustin's dad directly back in 1979 while working at a construction site in Akron, Iowa.
He arrived, and I immediately had an attraction to this man. And his job was driving the box. I always called him my
So
dad.
I've already been on here an hour and 14 minutes, you guys.
I'm laying down. I know you do. You're like, oh no, I'm missing out.
Being
Nigga,
together,
I'm asleep.
married on.
I mean, I lay down when I get ready.
The smitten couple moved to Sea Road. Knowing it would be the perfect place to build a happy home.
Honestly, I was ready to start a family with just a long,
I've
long,
noticed too,
long
you guys, like I'm getting
years
like I
of
kind of have like a bald spot
dream
right
to
here,
grow up. My mom,
or like that
Penny's
receding.
not long before Moses' dream
Shit.
comes true.
I found out I was pregnant.
Maybe it's just like the
I
normal
was
shit. Yeah,
young
maybe it's just like the
and I
normal
was
shit with
just
my head or
ecstatic
something. But
that I was
I don't know.
a baby. It was like a dream come true.
And no, I didn't get it cut off or anything. It's just up in a ponytail, as always.
Just
Because if not, it's just gonna fluff up.
And as he was
So I
growing,
figured why bother with it anymore? It's just gonna fluff up either way I look at it and look the same. Either way I look at it. Even when I brush it,
I was
it still
100%
looks the same,
content.
except it just looks like I have a big old troll throw.
And in 1987, they had another.
Well, yeah, it don't look nappy and tangled, but then I just get this troll hair, like it just,
So I was real excited. Family was
then
growing.
just like frizzes out. I mean, it could just be something I'm doing or some stuff I'm putting in my hair, or I don't know,
Really just
or something I'm not doing to my hair.
Giggly little girl.
As the years go by, Mom Mona records every milestone on her camcorder.
My mom always filmed every occasion. It wouldn't even be a special occasion, and she'd have the camera out.
Oh, I feel like I got a toothache, you guys. I don't even have one right there. Kind of where my front tooth used to be.
To me, it was just such a special time and a special memory, and like a keepsake. What are you doing?
Anybody else that doesn't have teeth that still has like an exposed area of their jawbone right here?
For the real thing.
Because I had one where I had a bone spur, or it could have just been a piece of my jaw that broke out. But now it's still sticking out, and it's been that way so for like about a year now. I don't think there's nothing they can do to fix it though, but
He gets out a piece of wood and a can of spray paint and paints. It's a girl. I'm like, that's not very pretty. But it was just so cute that he did it.
yeah, I had to get her before she shut off. Sorry guys. Yeah, y'all get to see her. Y'all kind of get to see her. Because everybody likes you more. They do. Come up here to see everybody else too.
They were both
Really? Because everybody likes you more too.
with her.
You're our 20,000 view baby, huh? So yeah.
I just remember sitting there smiling.
She don't always give me lovings, you guys. She's one of those mixed feelers. She's one of those that can be loving on you 1 minute and then the next minute she'll slap you in the face.
With the addition of Rihanna, it's official.
She's kind of a little bit sassy.
At times, the parents struggle, but
Now that we were a family of 5, it was much busier.
particularly now.
But alright, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off, you guys, because I'm not even really talking anymore. Now I'm just leaving y'all sitting here staring at me.
They work hard to rise to the challenge.
Just don't realize
So
how
go ahead
much more is
and
involved.
dismiss y'all first.